God, what does sustainability in fashion mean to me? It's like a big question.
So let's keep it real.
Okay, let's keep it super real.
Reusing, repurposing. Like, I don't have all the answers, but just like opening up to have these conversations and get it started is really important. Turning to people that I look to, which is why I'm excited to talk with Stephanie, or people who inspire me to do better. So I hope that I can just get people thinking.
Come on, if you know the words, let's go.
What do I think of her?
Yes.
I don't think of her.
Glass of red wine and a swisher. I think you get the picture.
Here I go.
Read about that in the New York fucking Post.
I'm looking at these notes.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm saying the words Kourtney Kardashian, sustainable boohoo line. And I'm just wondering, what the fuck have you got me in this podcast?
How did we get
today?
here? What kind of a country are we living in today?
I thought we put a...
That's the question I'm asking.
You know, it's just like a man to ignore my boundaries when I said that we weren't going to talk about Kourtney Kardashian for a while, or Travis Barker, or Machine Gun Kelly, or Megan Fox.
Hasn't it been a while?
In podcast terms, yes, a month. A lot has happened.
A
You're totally
lot
right.
has happened. in
A
the last
lot has
month or two.
happened.
Yeah.
And it's always happening here on Eating for Free, the podcast recording live from the absolute edge of the internet. Hello, everyone. I'm local gossip Joan Summers.
This is your local artist, Matthew Lawson.
And following a trend that we have been slightly building towards, if you are a regular, long time, or short time listener of this podcast, we used to be a lot more long form about the topics that we would discuss on the main feed before we took our break. And then when we came back and we were getting our feet on solid ground again, we kind of took a break from doing too much long form stuff. We've done it here and there, like with our HGTV stuff. And
we were like
Bitcoin
almost
Miami
once a week, though, doing deep dives and stuff like that.
So we can't promise that that's going to be the pace we keep up with. But as it comes, and I think in the last couple weeks, there has been less buzzy news all around, but certain stories that have really stuck out to us, we will be pivoting back to doing semi-regular long-form content here.
Yeah.
On the main feed. Now, we won't be doing the 3-4 part series that a lot of you might have experienced back in our old days before the hiatus, but I think these one-off episodes where we just talk for an episode about something really in-depth, people do tend to resonate those a lot. So why not give them what they want? Because they want to see us work.
They want to see us go off.
You know
who really went off was last week in your notes for the whole DW everything.
You're right.
The girls were living.
That's actually,
there's a lot of new people here.
That's actually kind of where we got inspired to do this particular week, because the Don't Worry Darling stuff just really exploded for us last week. I think it was our most downloaded episode ever, and I think we can chase that.
Yeah,
success.
on day one especially. Yeah.
Just like RuPaul says to a random man on Drag Race Down Under, I learned the fucking business about marketing drag to the world. We learned how to market Olivia Wilde's personal business to the world. And so why not capitalize on it until the gold in the lithium mine runs out and they're no longer bringing us diamonds from it?
Yeah, no, until we get dust in our mouths, we'll just keep chewing and gnawing away.
Chewing on the diamonds that
Jackie
you
Kennedy,
mine
et cetera, et
for
cetera.
in the gold in the lithium mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dust is everywhere.
I'm still to this day processing what exactly I meant by that last week. It makes sense when I think about it and when I verbalize it, but then I listen to it back and I'm like, I must be the most esoteric bitch in this sewer.
In this mining cave, actually.
Yeah, in this mining cave.
Were there any updates?
The sewer in the lithium mine.
Listen to this esoteric bitch in this quarry.
So one of these days, can we create a poster fan art? Can someone make a poster of the Eating for Free lithium mine? The different subterranean areas.
The iceberg meme?
Yeah. So we have the we have the regular mine, and then we have the gold and the diamond sectors.
Sure,
and there's a sewer, obviously.
Is this more like a political compass, or is this like an iceberg?
No. It's an actual. It's like an actual cave map.
Okay.
In a video game.
Like the one where they showed Osama being buried?
No, well, in a video game where it's those Metroid-like games where
Totally.
you're going
Yeah, yeah.
area to
Ant
area and the map
Colony-esque.
fills out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we're filling out the map of the lithium mine week by week. We are actually going to the Boohoo production facility. It's like 3 meters down from 3 meters. It's like that's like shorter than me.
No, that's taller than you, actually.
No, it's like, is that like
3 meters is
that
like 9 to 10
3
feet.
feet? Okay.
Yeah, 3 meters is 3 feet, Joan.
Okay.
They're the same thing.
Okay, wait.
we do have to address-
I was the only person last week. Before we get to this week's topic,
We do have to address
hello,
some
everybody.
disclaimers. Yeah.
I was the only woman in this room last week, and I'm always the only woman in the room, but specifically last week, the only one to ask you with full seriousness if the Rhine was really in
Bitch, I was
Venice.
so high and tired and hot and exhausted and beaten, bruised, and broken. I
looked at you and I said, "Are you sure?"
So this is where there are multiple mistakes that happened. So I thought you were talking about Paris, not Venice. Don't know why that happened. We were all in Venice. I somehow thought you were talking about Paris. I was thinking of the Seine, this whatever the fuck. That is the real river. I could check it, but I'm pretty sure the Seine is the real actual river that goes through Paris. And somehow I just said Rhine because it sounded similar. So again, multiple
Rhine
steps,
and
multiple
Seine,
mistakes.
yes, they're famously
And-
spelled the same.
And the problem is too is that there isn't even a river in Italy where we're talking about. It's a lagoon actually, or a lake.
Yes.
I don't know the name of it. I wouldn't tell you. I'm not going to pretend.
That's
that
why
I
I
know
was
that enough.
so confused because I was like, it's like marshy.
But I said for some reason twice it's the Rhine. I don't know.
And then you tried to
Full-
come at me about the Black Forest, Mama.
I didn't. I just wanted you to name a
You
mountain
tried
and a
to
lake.
question my knowledge about where Mount Kilimanjaro is on a map.
No one said Kilimanjaro.
In my brain, I did because you
Where is
asked
Mount
me if I-
Kilimanjaro? And
Somewhere in the southern hemisphere.
I couldn't tell you if that's even true or not. I don't know 100%. Could be near an equator for all I know.
You're not here for a geography podcast. You're here for a gossip podcast. So
Exactly.
today, we fully apologize for our previous mistakes about the Rhine.
Lagoons and lakes and rivers.
Lakes. Listen, there's that really annoying bitch on TikTok who's always talking about bodies of water. Go there for the content that you need. Apologies. I'm sure they're a very nice person.
Okay, no, real
I
quick.
shouldn't have said bitch. That was not very nice.
I know that creator and I like them. What is there any updates though generally with Olivia Wilde, Harry Styles, Florence Pugh?
No,
I feel like everyone just like let it go.
I predicted it's a nothing burger with
Yeah.
no real legs on it. It like doesn't. It's
Much like the real
like-
hamburger with legs at McDonald's, right? Is that what we're comparing it to?
Well, how do you think the Hamburglar gets
Someone
away?
in a burger mascot.
The Hamburglar gets on top of the burger and rides it like a horse. Like,
And we are riding that nothing burger horse that is the Olivia Wilde DWD story. I got it. It's full circle metaphor visual here.
what you thought was going to happen isn't really what you wanted to happen. No, so it's a nothing of a story. And that was really what we were talking about last week. It didn't go anywhere. Nothing happened. They all went their separate ways.
Yeah, and here we are.
And we're never going to talk about this again until the premiere happens and Variety publishes a story about how it was the worst reviewed movie of the year.
Yeah, it's like a 40% Rotten Tomatoes.
The funny thing is it's
dropping.
not even out, right? So like the public hasn't even consumed
Yeah, it's just
it yet.
specific people have seen screenings.
But it's nothing story. But I will say, I won't blow up my sources because they're my sources for a reason, right? They tell me gossip and I don't like spread that gossip. But I will say this anonymously. I was told that we had a very correct assessment of things just from someone in the industry's perception. They were not involved in the film, whatever, but it was what the industry insiders are feeling is
Going
very
on.
much in line with what we thought. And also, we did get a commendation from a couple different people who aren't in the industry, but one in the industry did want to highlight the fact, and I do want to shout this out here because I was very proud of this, that we were one of the only people to talk about the fact that it was optioned with Shia.
Yes. My God.
And that
Glaring detail.
changes the narrative about that video, not necessarily positively for Olivia, like we said,
It's
but
not
just
good for
it
really
changes
anybody
it
still.
from the way that people were perceiving it.
Yes, absolutely.
And so anyways, I wanted to shout that out as well for people who were listening last week, just to, get the tea. But I'm actually not in charge today. For once, I'm giving the reins over to the man. For once I'm giving the reins over on the hamburger car to the man. I'm letting him scooch up in the saddle.
We're going to drive this McGriddle all the way through.
I'm gonna munch on the bun while you talk.
No, wait, the McGriddle's the breakfast sandwich, right? With the pancake.
Yeah, we're like 47 layers deep into this metaphor, and I think we should start the podcast.
Let's pull it all the way back out.
Yeah, our producer is gonna kill me.
Yes.
Let's go.
She's not here, but in spirit. Absolutely.
In spirit.
Yeah, let's talk about greenwashing Kourtney Kardashian. It's absolutely the villain of the week on Twitter and all social media, so it makes sense why a deep dive was imminent.
Yeah, I've been sitting face down on the floor for the last 2 weeks, so I have not seen this at all. I'm very excited to let this all wash over me.
Oh, we're gonna have some
I have
fun.
zero frame of reference
we
for
have
anything we're about to talk about.
Lots of journeys. You will absolutely be the visual guide for people who are listening. So I'm going to give you
course.
imagery and you can tell what's going on because
Yay.
I don't have the lexicon to describe it.
Yeah.
So let's just start with page 6. They had a very quick, let's summarize what's been going on, and then we'll dive deeper into all of the juicy details. So this came out just a few days ago. Kourtney Kardashian, Boohoo collab backlash was, quote, exactly what I was hoping for. So let's have some fun with this delicious page 6 copy. Kourtney Kardashian isn't backing down. The reality star, 43, was slammed last week after fast fashion giant Boohoo announced that it recruited her as, quote, the brand's newest ambassador with a focus on sustainability, and that should be creating 2 collections with an eco-friendly angle. Social media users were incensed to see a member of the private jetting Kardashian-Jenner family being paid to promote sustainable lifestyle, liking the partnership to, quote, Burger King collaborating with a fitness instructor, and calling it utter BS, insulting, embarrassing. On Tuesday, September 13th, the day of our line's launch, so this is about 2 days back for when you should be listening, Kardashian finally addressed the backlash on Instagram. Joan, can you please click this Instagram link that I have on the notes here so you can describe? So before I read the caption, can you describe the photos that you're seeing here? I do love that
Kourtney's is now officially Kourtney Kardashian Barker on Instagram. Okay. Yeah.
These are some photos.
This is a very outdated
images.
trench coat.
It's giving little Matrix vibes.
Went back and forth about, oh God, oh
yeah, the
God,
next picture, the
oh
second,
God.
the carousel.
Is she about to wax poetic about this? Okay. I went back and forth about doing this collection with Boohoo because the first things I think about when I hear the words fast fashion is that it's bad for our planet.
Which, this will be the theme for the rest of the whole fucking episode because yes, it is, and you're right.
Boohoo approached me to be a sustainable...
You can't even take it seriously.
Matt, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Okay.
Boohoo
approached me to be a sustainability ambassador, and because the two just... And
though I knew I would get backlash.
Okay. Boohoo approached me to be a sustainability ambassador, and though I knew it would get backlash because the two just don't go hand in hand, I thought about the fact that fast fashion or the fashion industry in general isn't going anywhere. I thought about the attention this collaboration would bring to people who may otherwise have no idea about the impacts of fast fashion on our planet.
Keep going.
So you're making fast fashion to bring awareness to fast fashions. Okay.
Mama, keep going.
I thought about how pushing Boohoo to make some initial changes and then holding them accountable to larger change. Accountable how? Okay. To
love
larger
accountability
change would be impactful. Impactful in what ways? It's definitely making some noise. Okay.
And some microplastics.
Which is exactly what I was hoping for. I certainly don't have all the answers. But for someone who has done a fast fashion collaboration in the past, which didn't get backlash because I was not calling attention to trying to make better changes, I feel proud about doing it with intention and purpose. So she's like, y'all thought I was sneaky before. Mm-hmm. And I was sneaky because I didn't
When I wasn't saying anything, there wasn't a problem.
But my mother had this idea that if I got ahead of the story and made it the story itself, then it would be better, but it's actually worse now. But it's good because you're talking about it. Okay. I invite any experts. Oh God.
No, listen, just keep going.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. It's a free speech debate now. Okay. So I invite any experts who have ideas, suggestions. I've already seen some of you and will absolutely be reaching out to talk and learn more to reach out. So I want you all to do the free labor of educating me about the thing that I started to educate you so we could talk about it and then you can educate me more.
You're seeing the grander themes, yes.
I want to help, and from my experience so far, working with the team I work with at Boohoo, they do too. I will be elaborating on their changes, how we've made this line more sustainable, and what I've learned we as consumers can do to help. Oh boy.
And then all to come, exclamation.
Kris Jenner, heart eyes emojis, Khloe Kardashian, oh chic, Alice and Olivia, I love this in you. Food God, can I get that suit in slide 3? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh
Now, this
boy.
is such a summary of everything will be going down
So
because
she's like, listen, fast fashion is bad. I shouldn't have made it. But I knew that making it was going to cause everyone to talk about it, which means that we're now talking about it, which is
what
good
matters.
because then I can help invite change. But I don't know what the change is because I need you to teach me. And if you don't teach me, then it's on you that the change isn't happening, even though I was initially the one profiting off of slave-like labor in factories.
no, it's just straight up
elsewhere
slave
in the
labor.
world.
It's straight up human rights exploitation. Full
I'm
stop.
saying
Like,
no. I'm saying it like
Oh,
I'm
from
saying
her
it from
perspective,
Kourtney's
yeah.
perspective. Yes,
Only a little bit.
Yeah,
It's been
She's
a little slavery
She's
here.
like, yes, I was underpaying people. Yes, the garment factories are polluting the planet and destroying cities.
Yes, this clothes is
and
garbage.
irreparably harming the health of people who work inside of them, who aren't getting paid enough and don't have health insurance. Yes, this line is it's not biodegradable. Sorry, is microdegradable.
It's not degradable. Period. Actually,
No, microdegradable meaning the plastics are coming off.
Oh, they're degrading into the water supply. Yeah.
You're like at the club, and back in the old days, the dust that coated everything was like human skin, and now it's microplastics.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Of course, yes.
in
In the air, in the water.
Yes, you will be slipping on the microplastics on the floor at the club. Like, but you sit up from the subway seat and there's just like an imprint of microplastics where you were sitting.
Well, at this
However-
point, your own skin and bodily fluids will also be deposited.
However,
microplastics
someday there will be
in our body.
robots that can recycle all of that. So in a way, it is sustainable. Like,
Sure.
Also-
There are training maggots to eat plastic.
also, by the way, remember I'm married.
Yeah.
My name is Barker now.
Okay, so Joe, please click the link here. Let's go to Boohoo's website. This is just literally Boohoo's homepage right now. I just want you to describe visually, aesthetically, emotionally, spiritually what you're seeing on this homepage.
Okay, so everybody, I want everyone to stop listening to the podcast. If you're driving, please pull over. We have actually been told by people before that they have pulled over their cars because they can't focus while driving and listening to this podcast, which I do think is really funny. Now, if everyone really wants to look up the Dorit Kemsley funny Instagram.
Oh, the woman just looking through the window?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is exactly
The vibe.
what Kourtney Kardashian is posing like. She's like 2 fingers on the glass, staring through the window at her own reflection. She's like up against a concrete wall in like a jogger suit that doesn't fit. And there's a frayed and puckered hem on the pants that she's wearing. And also on the like t-shirt. So like it's coming undone while she's wearing it. But okay, so it's a like fitness suit, but then she's in stilettos and like the kind of glasses you would get at like limited 2 checkout line that also come with like a limited 2 branded like jelly lip gloss. Like,
There is literally no back on this top. Like, it's just not existent.
okay, so
Set $20.
I'm looking at the Discover the campaign. Okay, so for instance, there's a tattoo dress, obviously, because she's edgy now. There's a leather jacket that's not leather. There's a dress that is literally just a jersey, like compression dress, like you would wear under something else. There's a suit that doesn't fit and has fraying edge. By the way, more fraying edges. I'm seeing a lot of pants that are puckering in the vagina because the stitching is not very good. It's coming literally apart as she wears it. And it's just like very like, I'm an edgy, cool girl. Look at me. I married Travis Barker. I'm different. I'm not like other girls now.
Except she's just like other girls. So notable callouts on this page. One of the first things they do after it's like, Boohoo by Kourtney Kardashian Barker. And it's like, here's the tops, the dresses, whatever. And then like you can go into the campaign, which we'll read about the campaign later. But the first thing they mention is energy saving mode switch. So they say, so this is what makes me fucking howl. Also, this feature doesn't even show up when the site is on a small window. Only once the window gets to a certain pixel size does this option pop up. Okay, so they literally say here, We've introduced a new switch. Just with one click, you can reduce the energy used on this website. Flip it and we'll dim the screen and remove images where possible for a lighter, faster experience. Try it now. So you can see on my window here, Joan, my Safari window is half the size of my window.
Barely dims it.
Well, no, I haven't even enabled it because the button doesn't show up until I make my window large enough for it to pop up, which is bad design on the website's part. Look at me turn this feature on.
But also, why would you...
Look at me turn this feature on, Joan.
Not to like...
It reduces the brightness by 10% at absolute fucking best. And
Okay,
barely removes images.
I'm going to say this. Not to out ourselves as people who've worked in marketing before, but the idea that like your switch is not like a banner that travels down from the top, but is like a floating pill that like obscures whatever's in the time. But it's also like in the middle of the screen, so it's like this pill on the side of the screen that's like offset by like a full maybe 100 pixels and like is very large. And also, if it was a banner, energy saving mode would be on one line, but you have all this negative space next to mode. Like, they haven't even centered it.
It's bad design. And also, it's bad fully from the baseline fact that it's not really reducing energy.
Can we like offset this by like maybe 10 pixels max? Also, can it be a square and can it travel from the bottom up?
Like, literally
so that
make
the users can see what they're looking at on our website?
One, you shouldn't make it optional, but that's the philosophy we're going to get into
and also,
how this is all an optional experience.
How much is a personal phone, which is how people shop for Boohoo, using in comparison to the energy required to produce this, let alone ship it globally?
I think
and then also find the bulldozers needed to move it all into a landfill.
I think spending the energy clicking it on and off is wasting more than if I just didn't even click it, because that's how little it reduces. Also,
wait, that's
if you
like
wanted
that thing
to actually
that your
reduce
parents
power,
used to say, like, stop turning the lights on so much because they actually use more energy turning them on than keeping them on.
It's literally giving. No, and then the T is, if you want to actually reduce energy, flip the light mode to dark mode, mama. Your website's all in white, banners and background. Switch it so it's white text on a black background. That emits so much less LED power. But anyway, let's keep going. So you keep seeing things like, basically outfits from $8 to like $22. And the prices on all of these items are like absolutely garbage low, enough to where there's no sustainable or ethical way this was even remotely produced if it's $20 fucking dollars. So if you actually click into the main collection, so basically if you click any of the main banners that you see at the beginning, we get the Boohoo by, Kourtney Kardashian Barker. Discover the exclusive collection design with Kourtney Kardashian Barker, a collaboration to discover more about sustainability and style. So if you scroll down, you start getting these wild images where basically they show like some of the main products that they're selling, and they have little arrows with information that can describe like what makes this piece sustainable and like break down what's really going on. So at the top header, it says, introducing a collaboration to bring more awareness to the fashion industry. The first collection embodies Kourtney's style with a vision to become more sustainable. Change is happening and more is coming. So if you're going to do like a literary take already, you can tell that this is like absolutely obscuring everything. Bring awareness to the fashion industry. That's one claim. The second is Kourtney's style with a vision to become more sustainable. So this collection is not sustainable or is becoming sustainable. It's about a vision becoming sustainable. Change is happening and more is coming. So a preview, if you will. So can you describe this first outfit here? This like mesh bodysuit we're seeing in the campaign.
I'm just like trying to wrap my brain around all of this. Like, it's like, we joke so much on this podcast about like the psyop, and like this is the psyop. Like they're beaming radio waves through this website into my brain and like short circuiting what it is that I actually want to say. Like the FBI agent who did all of this to like convince us that recycling isn't real, it's like laughing somewhere right now. Okay. Like somewhere George Bush is in the ground, like smiling. Okay.
So look at the, please.
I know, I'm going to read it. I can see that there's text and I know you're going to ask me to read it.
I mean, yeah, actually you should read it. I was going to read it, but can you first describe what the outfit we're looking at?
Yeah, it's like a tattoo bodysuit ripping off Gaultier. It's like very cheap mesh.
Yes.
They're selling it for $30, but that's because the textile is like maybe 10 cents a yard. But Also, they probably paid someone 10 cents to make this. So
we'll get into that. So there's these little arrows that like identify like key aspects that you'll see a current theme as we go through these of how this is a sustainable outfit. But I would like you to read the first one that we see on this outfit. And they describe it from like a weird first person perspective, I think.
I just read it. Okay. What I'm made of. I'm made from 95% recycled polyester and 5% elastane.
Elastane is a microplastic, first of all.
Yes.
But keep going.
Where I am made in the UK. How to look after me. Mesh can be delicate, so to keep me looking great for longer by hand washing and drying me on a flat surface. That's all true. I mean, when you have like a Gaultier mesh or like a Pucci mesh or like, you know, like the classic meshes that are like coming down from like the high fashion to the fast fashion genre, most of them are dry clean only. Or you spritz with water and then lay out to dry on a flat surface. You usually don't want to wash them.
Yeah.
So that all makes sense. However, I just read the last part and I need everyone to pull the car over again because if I was driving, I would have crashed it. What to do when you're finished with me? It's like, it sounds kind of creepy, almost like you've had your way with me. Now toss me and discard me.
That's exactly what I was feeling. That's
Okay.
why I had to have you read this.
Think, rewear, resell, share, swap, and donate.
It's a mindset.
So-
it's a mindset.
So this is like multi-level marketing scheme of recycling where they're like, okay, so you've worn me your 2 times and I don't fit anymore. So you could donate me to Crossroads for like $1.50
At best.
if they
take it.
Or you could just give it to that friend you don't like because it doesn't fit you anymore, but maybe they'll like it. They'll want your $30 hand-me-down. Or you can try selling it on Depop and claiming it's vintage.
Yeah.
Or you can just donate it to the needy.
Who need a tattoo mesh bodysuit.
But they're
From fucking
predicting that you're not going to wear it for long.
That's literally, so that's the thing. This is so common through this whole fucking sustainability initiative, and we'll go into like more details about how they do it. What to do when you finish with me. The framing is inherently, you're not going to wear this more than once. So how about you maybe do something, just the bare minimum, instead of just throwing it away.
Also, okay, if it's not them, I know ASOS does it too, but I think Boohoo has like a marketplace.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Wait, let me look it up.
I wouldn't be
Boohoo,
shocked.
Where no, there is fast fashion companies where you can like resell the clothes back to the company or to other people on the marketplace. I'm pretty sure it's Boohoo, but it might not be. But anyways, there is 1 or 2 brands that do that. Like ASOS does that too, where it's like, oh, you're like shitty ASOS jeans. Like you can just give them to someone else on ASOS.
Or like sell it back to the company so they can sell it again.
There's a lot more of like, oh, okay.
What? Are you reading those other ones? What? Are you looking at the leather jacket?
Vintage leather moto jacket
so this
for
one
$80.
killed me. So
it says my fabric is made from 100% real leather. It is an original vintage piece that has not been altered or redesigned. The leather is vintage, so keep this for years to come. Hang it up when you are not using it and use a leather conditioner. But it's $80. So if it's like an unaltered, never been worn before leather jacket.
Listen. That's what I'm saying. It's just a resale item. This is literally just reselling donated or thrifted clothing.
Okay, wait.
Like they bought this jacket at a fucking large.
I see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Your dream vintage leather jacket has arrived. It's a true vintage item that has been pre-loved, individually sourced, and hand-selected by Glass Onion Vintage in the UK. This motorcycle jacket is made from 100% aged perfection, making it a timeless edition. Okay, but what I don't understand is if it has been sourced by somebody, how are you getting the same jacket every time? Is it a different...
Okay, so
Is it a
I
different
think it
jacket?
is. No, I doubt it. What I'm pretty sure it is there was a lot of leather jackets that some other company at some other time made or someone had collected, and they just bought the lot.
That's what it is. Because if you go into the photos of them, their models are all wearing different jackets.
Oh, so you're literally just getting a loot box. Like,
It's literally like, look at that photo. They're all in different jackets.
oh my
They're
God,
not even
you're
made from the same
right.
material.
Mama,
Like,
that's even worse than I thought. Oh my God.
So you're literally getting a loot box for jackets. Like you're gambling on what jacket you're gonna
And
get.
that might be the best sustainable
Also-
product they're literally selling. It gets so much worse.
I want to. Okay, so I know this term because of Love Island. Because Love Island stars have two career paths.
Yes.
and often they intersect. You either go on that like British fucking show for the women, and I'm gonna mess it up, but it's called like Nasty Women or something, or
have
like
no idea what
like
you're talking about.
Strong Women. It's like a daytime show with like a revolving cast of women.
Okay.
And like they'll always go on it. Like Moira
Yeah.
Higgins used to be on there
I
a
love
lot.
Moira.
Or like Molly May or stuff, and I can sue as well. But or you go to like Boohoo sponsorships,
Yeah,
and there was
absolutely.
like the big thing recently about it's
Yeah.
exactly the marketplace.
Yep.
Pretty Little Thing is another Boohoo like fast fashion brand, and it's like who's gonna get the Pretty Little Thing deal? Pretty Little Thing is the one with the marketplace, and I saw that because everyone wanted India to get the PLT deal, but Gemma got the PLT deal, and then but they were
yikes.
mad because they had been using India's face on all their marketing. But
But
then
it's so funny how the same season
Yes.
there was that whole PR
Ekin
thing about
Su
how they
got
weren't
the,
supposed
like,
to use
yeah.
fast fashion.
Ekin-Su got Polly, Davide has Boohoo Man, that kind of thing. Anyways,
Yikes.
but Tasha is the eBay spokesperson. She got like an eBay deal, and the marketing for it is like pre-loved.
Yes.
So your clothing is
Thrifting.
like pre-loved. But what I'm saying is I hate that term because what it is doing, it is obscuring
Yes.
the sourcing and the origins of these pre-loved
Yep.
items
Yep.
because it's making it a moral thing to sell it rather than just a way to like get money oftentimes, or for companies to like absolve themselves of the responsibility of how it was produced in the first place. Because they're like, oh, well, this jacket was pre-loved and it's because they loved it so much. So don't ask questions about how it was made.
And it's definitely
Don't ask
not
questions.
used or thrifted
Yes,
at all. This
don't-
is just pre-loved.
Don't ask questions about where it came from. Don't ask questions about who made it, what it's made from.
Yeah, 'cause who
how
fucking
many of
knows
them
how it
are in
was
the
made?
landfill.
Who knows how-
where the others
Yeah.
like it went. This one is pre-loved.
And they keep saying
loved it.
made from 100% real leather, but like it's not exclusively leather how the whole thing is made. And if not, and even if so, again, it's just used articles.
And again, loot box of fucking jackets. And also, I do love, again, guys, the S, M, and XL, S and M and L and XL sizing, where it's like
There's just two
you either get a
sizes, 'cause it's a loot
small or
box.
medium or a large or an extra large.
Like, we
and
literally
those are
cannot-
definitely the same size.
Yeah, we can't quality
And
control that.
People who are large can definitely wear an extra large, and people who are an extra large will definitely fit a large.
I'm saying it's fucking
And also, like, I love that
garbage.
to them, I'm sure. If I look up the size guide, the small is like,
like child small.
okay, do you want to know
Sure.
what they're allegedly saying that a small is either a 30, or sorry, excuse me, a small is either a 25-inch waist or a 25.5-inch waist. Okay, so an extra small is
mama.
25-inch, and a small is 25.5-inch waist. So you have 0.5 inches of wiggle room between those two sizes. No, wait.
At that rate, the large is going to be 26 and a half. Like,
No, even better. Okay, so then an 8 is also considered a small, and an 8 is a 26-inch waist. So between an extra small and the upper range of a small, it's either a 25 or a 26. But then a medium is even more than that. A medium is 27 inches or 29 inches. So they're saying
They're like, we don't know what the fuck
your
you're gonna get.
leather jacket is going to be anywhere between 25 inches and 29 inches in the waist, which is a lot of inches. Like, that's 4 whole inches.
And they're still charging $80, which is probably the most expensive item on the entire website.
Like a third of a foot of space that you might not fit. Like, if you got pants that were like, it's either between a 25 or a 29, and you're just going to get it when you get it, like, that's crazy.
And
That's
don't just
crazy.
throw it away. You can just give it away. Just give it to
Because
somebody.
then it'll be pre-loved by
Again,
someone who pre-loved it.
It was loved. It was seasoned twice. So then we also have this
It's like a cast iron pan. You just kind of got to pass it around for a while.
we also have this maxi dress that is just photoshopped to the nines, so it has no creases or
Oh, I love the
whatsoever.
62%, the very specific amount of
Yes.
62% recycled polyester.
with 38% regular polyester.
How do they know?
My lining, well, they don't. We'll get to that. The lining is made from 100% recycled polyester, however. And then they say, okay, so this is gonna be important later. Where I'm made in the UK at I'm sorry, I'm probably
Thermiston Lane Factory,
yeah.
our very own UK manufacturing center of excellence.
Yes, center of excellence.
Okay, what to do when you're fish meat. Okay, again, think rewear, sell, swap, etc. And then she has a letter here in a suit that they don't tell us how the suit's made, but Boohoo came to me with this idea that was all about sustainability and style, which is what made this collaboration so interesting to me. I've always loved fashion, but I've become more and more aware of its impact on the planet. Through the creation of this collection, I'm grateful to have had the chance to speak about global experts to learn more about the challenges around. Okay, this font is
I told you, it's
unreadable.
so difficult.
Sustainability in the fashion industry. We can all do better, and we don't have all the answers. But my aim is to use my platform to open up the conversation and to believe any progress we can make is a step in the right direction.
We have
Now,
the answers.
we
do have the answers, Mama.
I'm gonna
It's
say
shutting down
something.
this whole fucking
Matt,
website.
Matt is going to be shocked about what I'm going to say.
Really?
You and I have once formerly made a pact never to speak about this, but I'm feeling messy, and this is pissing me off.
Okay.
Now,
Are you going to mention by name?
We're not going to mention it by name.
Okay.
We're not going to mention it by name.
Not messy enough.
But we formerly used to work in an industry that concerned buying and selling used clothing items.
Yes. High-end.
High-end used clothing items. And there's a lot of different ways that can go and happen. And we just happen to find ourselves in one of those jobs. And there was a database that we were aware of and often had to look at because we were in charge of a certain stage in the processing of these used clothing
Yes.
items. And you would know where they were coming from. And usually it was just like random fucking people, right?
Yeah.
But often it was celebrities.
Yes.
And we always knew it was celebrities because we would get a call from the higher
I'm
ups
remembering this now.
to
yes,
say,
yes.
hey, so-and-so is sending some stuff through and we need to get it processed and taken care of right away because it's very important because they're so-and-so.
They're
A celebrity. And I will not give you specifics because the specifics will get us in trouble. But the primary
of a large family.
yes.
Or a popular family that we may or may not discuss on this podcast from time to time.
The primary customers who made the most amount of money on that platform reselling what we thought oftentimes was a
Garbage.
SpawnCon package clothing, things that designers were giving them, was one of them Kourtney Kardashian. Absolutely, yes. Literally, we would see photos on the podcast just like doing stuff of Kourtney wearing something, and then it would come through our job. And we'd be like, oh,
Interesting.
interesting. That's so weird.
And then they get to promote it on their Twitter and be
And then they
like,
get to
go
promote it
shop
on
my
Twitter.
collection.
Yes.
Because I pre-loved it, and my pre-love is
Because I
worth
pre-loved
money.
it. I pre-loved it. And it's not a secret because their closets were shoppable at one point on
Yep,
the website
they
that
absolutely were.
we used to work at. So I'm not telling anyone's business that isn't already out
Well, isn't
there.
that so sustainable of her?
But I
Isn't that
did
so
I
green
did
of
always
her?
love seeing them at designer shows wearing something and then the next week it was on my desk and I'm like, how weird that they get to do that and make money doing that. And that is so weird. And then get to sell it to everyone. Like, look how sustainable we are by giving you our like hand-me-down design.
Oh, and the fact that you can only sell stuff that's actually worth of any value and not a $14 pair of joggers.
And I'm not putting anyone's business on the internet like I do every day. But we're not talking like an insignificant amount of money.
No, absolutely not.
No. This is money people could live on for a very long time kind of money.
Yes,
like,
absolutely. Like monthly income per
so
item.
This kind of thing makes me crazy because it's like, you didn't just learn about this. You've been gaming this for a while. And
going back
also,
a decade at
let
this
me
point.
tell you, the people who sent us the nicest clothes were not the Kardashians.
That's absolutely for sure. Like you said, PR packages.
Some of those heels were ran through, let me tell you. Like, what'd you do? Walk them in mud before you got into the post office? Like,
they're still
stepping
Louis
in
Vuitton,
shit,
so.
literally and metaphorically. So we never signed NDAs, you know. They can't hurt us.
Oh, they wanted us to, but we didn't.
I talked in circles around that for a long time. If anyone figures it out, no tagging, but I will confirm it to you via DM.
Absolutely. And it wouldn't be something that you couldn't find
But that's
somewhere
why
else
I'm thinking
online.
about it now. Like, it's coming back to me now.
I
Just
know,
like
I
sitting.
know.
Remember, I would send you those DMs like,
Yes.
oh my God, look at this. And then I would send you the paparazzi photo of them wearing it. And I'd be like, they just fucking wore this last week. Like,
They sold an Instagram shot for like $10,000, then sell it for $10,000 more. Isn't that lovely and sustainable?
and they got them for free. It was stuff they got for free.
Okay, now let's get to right below this insane statement. This is the most important image here.
She looks like Jack Skellington. If Jack Skellington went through the Toni Collette yassification Sophie filter on TikTok, like I'm pretty when I shop my face, like thunk.
So we have here probably like the hero shot, right? The one they used earlier of her in this like backless, maybe athletic, maybe not. I
Me
don't know
like
what you
zooming
call it.
in on
'Cause
okay.
the font is also size 9.
Not them. Okay, Matt.
No, listen, you got to start reading some of
No,
this copy.
Matt.
This $14 pair of fucking
Matt,
sweats.
okay, zoom in on it, please. Just zoom in on it. Zoom in on her back. Tell me what you see between where the bottom of the shirt touches her back.
Mama, it's so obvious.
Do you see what I'm seeing?
Ooh, girl, the
Okay,
cool sculpting.
So, okay, no. What I'm going to say is this. If you're looking at these photos of her in this pink tracksuit, zoom in to her back, like
back
by her
meets
hip,
the-
where the bodysuit like arches all the way down to the back. If you look at the back, there is
blurry.
there is like a
Same with the top.
There is like a 100% density blur filter over her back because what they've done is they've sculpted it in. They've like used the tool to like bring it in. But
Because you can tell it's not actually
sharpness
fitting.
is not correct. Like, you could tell the sharpness of the rest of her back is like ultra smooth, and then there's this huge chunk where they have used the liquefaction tool to bring it in, and it is like, it's actually, the longer I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is
Now,
shocking.
I don't
that this
think
made it through.
I don't
Like,
think Kourtney Kardashian has back rolls, but I do think this outfit probably makes it look like you do because it is so ill-fitting and terrible. So they had to figure out something to do.
Did
But
you
can
look up this
Yes.
region where it is made in
oh,
Pakistan?
No. Go to read the other one. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Oh, mama.
So we're looking
we
at this one,
absolutely
the
have
$14
more about-
tracksuit, right?
Yes.
What I'm made from is 50% recycled polyester and 50% real cotton.
REEL.
Okay.
TM.
Real stands for Responsible Environment Enhanced Livelihoods. Okay, so it's the we here for you of cotton. Like, okay, wait. Responsible, environment, enhanced livelihoods.
Yeah, one phrase.
This
there.
means in partnership with Cotton Connect, we're training cotton farmers in more sustainable production techniques, and we'll be measuring the social and environmental impact.
Can we read this
Okay,
again?
I can't.
Because
I just-
the actual copy is like throwing mirrors and fog and like lasers, like
this
to
means
distract us from
in
what they're trying to say.
partnership with Cotton Connect, we're training the cotton farmers in more sustainable production techniques, and we'll be measuring the environmental social impact. Okay, so this is what I love, and I'm not getting us derailed. I'm so sorry. I know we have a lot of notes to get through. We're not even off the first page, but like, I love when companies do this. Is like we will be measuring the environmental and social impact. Now, the next thing I'm going to see
garbage
is that this was made in Pakistan, right? So what I don't understand is like, who in Pakistan are you working with to determine this? Who is Cotton Connect? What is your measurement for environmental and social impact? Like, are you judging cost of living? Are you judging cost of food? Are you judging transportation costs?
No.
Are you judging pollution?
None of the above.
Are you judging
none of the
wages,
above.
health and safety? Like,
absolutely not. So we'll get into this more later, but Cotton Connect is the only smidgen of actual possible good thing that they're doing here, which is, I don't know enough about the organization to prove that they're really doing what they claim to be doing. So full disclosure, I do not have enough validation. There's just not enough about them. But that Cotton Connect is the only fiber that they have sourced that has like probably actually some legitimate practices. Out of the 47 outfits they've made, 2 of them are using this cotton. The rest are entirely microplastics. So this is one of 2 outfits out of 47 that maybe have somewhat sourced cotton.
I am made in
I
am made in Pakistan. My cotton was grown in the Rajampur region where it was ginned or cleaned before being spun in, I don't know how to pronounce that.
I think it's Faisalabad, but I could be pronouncing that wrong.
And manufactured at our supplier's factory there. And then what do you do when you're finished? Once again, renew, reuse, recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle.
So we'll get into that facility in Pakistan later, which is not good, as you can imagine. But yeah, so what I love about what they're doing here too is they're using this cotton that like maybe somewhat could be ethically sourced. Again, 50% of it is still recycled polyester microplastics. The other half is that quote unquote real cotton. Only 2 outfits use it, but then that's just sourcing the cotton, and then it's made in a factory. What are the conditions of the factory? Again, we'll get into that later. It's not good. So there's a campaign video that I have a link for here in the notes. This is episode 1. I don't know if there's more episodes coming. Have not seen them upload more about their sustainable fast fashion journey. They're getting ate up in the comments, but I'm going to quickly play for you a clip.
Oh boy! From
after the first 30 seconds of just complete filler, where it actually gets started. Let's get it going here.
Boohoo came to me with this idea. The fact that it was all about sustainability and about having these conversations and using our resources, I think that was so interesting to me and what made it something that I wanted to be a part of. In addition to talking to you, I am also going to talk to other experts all over the world about like worker welfare and textile waste. Are there any questions?
That's
I should
amazing
ask?
that you're doing that, because I feel like people don't think about, ethical business practices,
Who is this?
fair wages, safe working facilities. Like that all goes under the umbrella of what sustainability is.
Boohoo is a fashion brand, and fashion brands have an impact on the environment and an impact on people across all steps of the value chain, from the field where the cotton's grown right the way through to the end product. And we need to kind of acknowledge that impact and try and reduce it as much as we can. Our people that work for Boohoo want to improve the sustainability of the business. Our customers are asking us about it, and also our broader stakeholders are too. We need to ensure that we are kind of being as sustainable as we can be.
Kourtney is the perfect fit for this project because she resonates with our customer and she represents a huge demographic of women. She's able to influence, inspire people to have more sustainable choices and be more conscious with the way that they shop. And not just about shopping, it's about the way that they can rewear clothes, resell them, swap them, what you do after you finish with your clothes.
Well, I think just like I'm going to be learning a lot, on this journey.
Okay, shut
of,
this shit
how
up. Shut this shit up.
I hope that this is a place where I can use my platform to really get people to be thinking about the same thing and learn the same things that I'm learning along the way.
God, what does sustainability in fashion mean to me? It's like a big question.
So let's keep it real.
Okay, let's keep it super real.
Reusing, repurposing. Like I don't have all the answers, but just like opening up to have these conversations and get it started is really important. Turning.
When I tell you my brain was like short circuiting like every 2 seconds.
I don't have all the answers.
No, but let's be real. Let's be real.
Wait, no, you're not doing it right. Let's be real. Fast fashion is like a huge question. Like, I'm Kourtney Kardashian Barker, and like, you know, I'm just a girl who like married Travis Barker. And if you don't know, I'm married to Travis Barker. And I just think that sustainability is like literally like such a big question. And I just want to learn, and like I want people to learn what I'm learning, and I want people to know what I'm knowing, and I want people to like read what I've read and like be told what I'm told. Because like when you realize the things that I'm realizing, it just makes you realize more the things that are yet to be realized about the very big question of everything.
The way that's almost a direct quote at this point, because she says fucking nothing. Okay, can I read these comments real quick? Because they're eating them alive. I'm shocked they haven't turned comments off. So top comment here. Isn't a majority percentage of boohoo items in product manufacturing still fast fashion? Sustainability in business should mean much more than one influencer marketing campaign plus product line. Another comment. This is so embarrassing. Whoever thought it's a good idea is probably a boomer that doesn't recycle. Everyone on the team just wants to get paid. It's so obvious this tarnishes the brand, both Kourtney and Boohoo. Who would sit there and think this is a great idea? Showing that you could have actually worked. The tagline for it would be Boohoo goes slow, brand changes from the core. It's a simple idea and a big change, but sometimes that's what it takes. I wouldn't be surprised if Boohoo is not around in a few years, judging purely on this campaign, explicitly exploiting climate change, finally making some noise just to sell some badly made rags. Sorry, but I'd never, not even if this was the last thing available to wear. Another comment. This is embarrassing for all concerned. 2 46-piece collections just to say they're made slightly more sustainable. Fast fashion will never be sustainable. Boohoo was found to be one of the least sustainable brands in the UK. Anyone saying this is great, can't wait to buy, seriously needs to wake up. You're a part of the problem.
So also some of the comments under this tragic video praising this direction shows how far down the rabbit hole we are. Textile to textile recycling is currently non-existent. Charity streams result in a lot of textile waste ending up elsewhere, usually low-income countries, as the quality for resale is not there. Fast fashion garments like these are part of that problem, as they are not designed to last. Who is buying secondhand Boohoo when firsthand is cheap as chips?
Exactly.
I work in the industry, and I can tell you there is a lot of interesting innovation in the space of circular apparel, biosynthetics, next generation material, and repair and resale platforms. This is none of that. This is soon to be lawsuit material if the legislation being proposed comes into action.
And we'll get into that also.
Or, like we were just talking about, it would be nice to see celebrities wear things more than once. That's a good place to start, since it seems to be kind of a sin for them to be photographed wearing anything more than one time. Like, okay, before we begin, and I'm thinking this might need to be a 2-parter episode.
I know at this point,
so long.
We still have more to go.
But what I want everyone to really think about before we get deeper into this is that it is totally normal for people everywhere to wear things more than once. Right? Everyone, think about it right now.
It's crazy to me to think that
about
that's
it right now.
Where we're at now.
If I talk to you about your favorite piece of clothing, how many times have you worn that?
Oh my God, I wear it like at least once a week probably at this point.
Yeah.
Most of the items I wear.
My favorite jacket in the wintertime, I maybe wear it every single day.
Oh my God, yeah, exactly.
Except if it's like not necessarily going to go with what I want to wear it with. But otherwise, I have a jacket that I've like spent a lot of money on, and I wear it as much as humanly possible.
Exactly.
And that is antithetical to celebrity marketing and also fast fashion, right? They don't want you to wear things more than once. They are made poorly, partly because of how exploited the workers are and how cheap the materials are, but also because they don't want them to last. It is the entire ethos of the capitalist marketplace that the longer things are around, the cheaper they get, because they do not want you to have light bulbs that last 50 years. They want you to have light bulbs that go out after 6 months. They want you to have TVs that are redundant.
And now we see this so much more with inflation, everything else. Like sell a smaller product and they put less weight into it, lower
iPhone
quality.
Is redundant after 2 years because it doesn't turn on.
And now we have an upgrade program and a recycling program so they can make money back by this planned obsolescence.
To buy. They do not want you to use their products for longer than 6 months to a year, because if what
And
happens
Boohoo,
to a
it's fucking
company
by
that
the end of
makes
the
good
week.
stuff, eventually you stop buying it. And even the clothing brands that are sustainable, quote unquote,
Which is rare. Yeah.
also are pushing you to get their new collection, shop their new lines. People and these brands, name one brand. I really want people to know this. Name one brand that's not like a high-end designer that is known for its like staple pieces.
Or like
that
long-term
every
use.
single year puts out a collection of the same thing from last year.
Oh, absolutely fucking not.
Because they need
we
the
live in
innovation or else
capitalism.
you stop shopping.
Oh.
And I'm not saying fashion should stagnate and everyone should just wear the same thing for the next 10 years. That's obviously not how society works.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that Boohoo is built on a marketplace of literally, I am going to buy clothes to wear the next day because I have a party tomorrow. Especially for people in the UK where you can get it so quickly. Like, I have a party on Friday. Let me go on Boohoo Wednesday, get an outfit for Friday, and then that outfit goes in the trash because it came apart in the wash or it tore at the club or whatever.
Yeah, what were we even talking about? It was a few years
It's
ago.
literally
probably,
like
where,
the Postmates of clothing where you're ordering it to eat it once.
Yeah, no, it's literally, that's the thing. It's about consumption. That's literally where this whole thing is centered around. And that's what we think we always talk about with the Kardashians is like their business model is about consumption at like the highest possible rate and like the most amount of money that can go into it possibly. For the Kardashians, it's look at me on my private jet because I do sustainability with Boohoo, whatever the fuck that they justify it as. Or also like we were saying before, oh, this cleanses me of like whatever the fuck evil other shit I've been doing constantly, which is working for a company like Boohoo that 99% of the shit, they push something like 700 to 1,000 items a week on their page. And they just released like 42 outfits with Kourtney Kardashian that are somewhat more sustainable, somewhat more recycled. And we're like, oh, we're going to change it. It's like you put 700 new items on your website a week. That is inherently garbage landfill generation. Like you are just generating microplastics to go into the water supply at this point. That's all there is left.
Yeah, I just think of like the idea that companies, and we talk about this all the time. I talk about this with you all the time, especially because I'm someone who actually does like shopping and clothing and whatnot. And I've done a lot of stuff in and around the fashion industry. Like I'm just telling everyone this in case they don't know this, because I would assume everyone who listens to this podcast is aware. But if you are buying something, especially online, that isn't costing you at least $150, $200, there is exploitation happening somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
And even at that price point, unless it is like handmade by the person who's designing it and they're not exporting that labor to anybody, is probably still to a degree exploitative because of the amount of crunch and how much work they have to do just to make back any money per the cost of those fabrics to begin with.
Yeah.
Like the reality is clothing is not ethical. Wearing the clothes that we wear and the clothing that a lot of people have access to is not ethical. There is nothing that we can do as everyday people to walk into a Target, walk into a Walmart, shop at ASOS, and actually feel good about our choices in doing that.
It's impossible.
Because the clothing is not sustainable. It was not made well.
And that's like...
It was not made by people who were being paid or taken care of. It was not made in areas that aren't being heavily polluted by dyes or heavily like their groundwater destroyed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, the amount of chemicals that they process the stuff with. Like that.
I mean, coastlines, not ocean lines.
There's even
Coastlines
material
destroyed.
that can be made sustainably, but because of the literal time it takes to actually do it sustainably and how much more expensive, which is always the problem, it's always so expensive to actually do it sustainably, they don't. So they skip a bunch of steps, use a bunch of chemicals, pollute the shit out of everything, and then can claim a part of it as sustainable.
I'm not like trying to shame anybody.
No, we're all
for
fucked.
Wearing
Like, this is the position we're in. Like, we literally are sitting here in fast fashion clothing in a sense.
Probably. Yes. You know, like I'm not shaming anybody because shame is not an effective tool for change.
No.
And also, guess what? Our houses and everything are filled with things that ultimately probably would make you feel bad about how they were made.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even making a no ethical consumption because that just removes obligation or responsibility.
Yeah.
But I am trying to combat always the like ideology that has been ingrained into us that ultimately it doesn't matter because there is no better way. because there is no other way for this to happen, because ultimately it's beyond our control or it is too expensive. All these things, like, really, then you have people like Kourtney Kardashian coming in and taking advantage of that ideology.
That's what she's doing, though. That's exactly what I was going to say. She's coming in saying, at least we're doing something, or it's on a road to positivity. And it's very much that like progressive, like worm-brained idea of like, we can't do radical change. Radical change is impossible. So we have to do these like ultra compromising, ultra like manufactured consent forms of like sustainability where you can feel good about yourself because they're using 3% more recycled material. And it's like the whole fundamental concept of buying new clothing regularly is the problem.
Even
we can't live like that
designer
in a world
shit
like this.
that costs like $3,000 also oftentimes is not ethical. Like, nowhere along the production chain are you going to be able to feel good about the choice of existing as a human being in this world. But like, Kourtney Kardashian believes that the way forward is by just throwing up our hands and saying, well, we can't change it, but we can try to just keep it in the family, right? Like, we can just pass this polyester rag back and forth until it disintegrates into dust in our oceans and then kills all the plankton and turns the ocean red by the year 2050. Like,
unfortunately, that's like quite literally what's actually happening with these microplastics. Like, you're not even joking about the Red Sea. The acidity turns it red.
But
it's
ultimately,
so upsetting.
like, we cannot rely on corporations to make better choices,
and we can't consume our way out
on
of
the
these
governments
issues.
To change laws, and we cannot rely on each other to suddenly not need new clothes for things. Because the reality is also, and you and I know this because we've worked a lot in really shitty jobs, there's also a lot of people who just have to participate in the fashion marketplace because jobs demand them to look certain ways.
Oh, yeah.
And we know that. I've had jobs where it's like, I need you to come dressed to work like this.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So consumption is like built into our everyday lives, but you can't consume your way out of a problem.
And I always think about as
like
well,
you just
like,
said, you cannot consume your way out of a problem.
You can't buy more things. And we'll get into this. So this will obviously be a part 2 at this point because we have like 4 more pages of notes going on and like actual details of their like sustainability report that are like so horrible. And then like the investigation the UK is doing because it's like, clearly this is bullshit and you're just claiming this to get like tax break.
Oh, wait, is there?
No, there's an investigation. Yeah,
into
absolutely.
this?
Yes, literally into this exactly.
Oh, well, that's good that we're taking a break then because it might break between now and next
There might be
week.
more going on. Oh, absolutely. So like the way that it's framed, the way that people push buying your way out is why it will never work, because the first part of the reduce, reuse, recycle, it's reduce is the first one. Stop using shit constantly. I always think about this when people talk about getting like reusable water bottles and how like, and this might, I don't know if people are gonna yell at me for this. I'm not saying we should go back to plastic bottles, but the idea that we started selling metal bottles that actually like pollute more than a single plastic bottle. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, if you buy this one metal bottle, use it a million times, it'll be great because we're not gonna use all that plastic. That's true. That is true. We could do that. And we are doing that in a sense. But also now people have like 50 fucking metal bottles in their house. And every day sometimes at lunch are getting a plastic cup to drink their soda out of, or a plastic cup at the doctor's when they're getting this shit. Or you're buying all this shit constantly that's sustainable, wrapped in plastic, shipped on an Amazon bus, flown across, the fucking, not even flown, on a boat for like 8 months that just destroys the coral in the water it's under.
Yeah.
Like all elements of consumption are unethical. We all have to deal with it because we have to survive and we either die or not. But it's like, it's all tainted. So the first thing that Lily Boohoo, and we'll get into this in the next episode, says in one of their first steps of how to do better is buy now, wear longer. Their first step is to buy now. That's the problem. That's why we can't trust any of this. That's why it's all fucking bullshit.
We were talking about this one day on our way back from Costco because
talk about
we're budget queens at the moment. The recession has hit us hard, girls.
Yes.
And we were talking about all the stuff that we're required to buy.
Yes.
Because we do not live in places where like groceries are as accessible as they are elsewhere, or as cheap as they are elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so we're going to places like Grocery Outlet or Costco because like the regular supermarket's too expensive
or
to
buying
get
the
groceries
5 for $5 meat because the meat's expiring today.
and splitting it. That kind of thing. Like, so I was just thinking about it when I was undoing our groceries, well, my groceries in particular, how much waste is involved in just
Every
like
piece
buying
of fucking thing you buy is wrapped in
relatively
plastic.
fresh ingredients from the store. And you know, as always, our conversations in the car after we've taken an edible and gotten lost on the way back from Costco spiral into everything. But, you know, you start to genuinely realize in all these conversations we're having, and something that we're always talking about with you guys as well in the comments and online and stuff, is that, you know, there's nothing that Boohoo can do to change the fashion industry or how it works. If every single fashion company got together and said that we were going to reduce, reuse, and recycle, it wouldn't change the fundamental realities of the way that society is structured and the way that everything around us is structured, right?
Unless they all got together and disbanded and ceased
And I'm not trying to like black pill everybody, but ultimately any corporation that tells you it has found the magic solution or is like taking a step in the right direction, I'm guaranteeing that step is probably backwards. Like...
It's like, it can be done in a way, but what it's doing is it's serving you a shit sandwich and then taking a portion of it off the plate.
Well,
or like,
again,
you still got to eat this garbage.
Think about it like this.
But at least you're, you know,
think about it like this.
Much.
Think about it like this. Do you actually think you are going to be sold the solution to world hunger?
Or climate change, or
like, do you think the solution to our
oceans.
problems involves someone selling it to you? Think about it like that. And if that person is Kourtney Kardashian, aka Jack Skellington, do you really think you're gonna find absolution for your sins?
If you think buying a $8 pair
Mama,
of leggings,
get back up on that cross. I gotta light it on fire, right? Like, your sins are not being forgiven today. In fact, I'm gonna ask that Kourtney Kardashian be the one to light the match because you deserve to pay for your crimes. Like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get out of here, girls.
You can find us everywhere at Laura Croft Barbie and _ Matthew Lawson on Twitter specifically. You can go to eatingforfree.com to find the links and our merch website. Please go shop our merch, but more importantly, go to patreon.com to hear Hot Topics episodes and also Minions commentary. We have like deep dives, bonus episodes, original stuff all the time being posted every week over on Patreon, sometimes twice a week. So you have lots of different options to subscribe. The $5 tier gets you most everything, and we appreciate the support always. It helps us keep this show running. And you can go into your closet. I want you to find everything you've ever bought from ASOS, and I want you to go outside and light it on fire.
Is that just going to release more like toxins in the air?
Yes, I'm trying to burn the planet faster. We've actually pivoted to accelerationism.
Maximalist accelerationism.
Maximalistic accelerationism.
I mean, that's how I feel looking at the cover of our podcast sometimes. I'm like, there's a lot going on.
The revolution will be pink smoke in the sky from the burning plastic of the landfills.
Do you smell of petrol in the air?
The revolution will be petrol flavored. Like,
oh, now that's true. Now that is absolutely true.
Ooh, that was pretty spicy. That was pretty spicy.
You really went off.
Spicy.
You really went off.
Matthew Lawson, I just want you to know that this is like the year of like me realizing the truth of like what I didn't know before. And like what I didn't know is now stuff that I'm knowing, and it's a lot. Okay, anyways. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
I don't have enough breath for that, Mama.
Some of us were theater majors.
Come on, if you know the words, let's go.
What do I think of her?
Yes?
I don't think of her.
Glass of red wine and a swisher. I think you get the picture.
Here I go. Oh.